Good afternoon, guys. Well, say good night. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. So the futures are gapping up on the Mexico news that came out after market closed on Friday, and it's gapping up right into the next resistance, and that's why it's pulling back a little bit. So we're probably gonna see that gap close setup tomorrow or overnight, and then we're gonna try again to break this resistance. And if we don't break it, probably going to go around here first. Here you see all this interaction, and over here too. So this will be the line of defense of this move up. So if we come here, it needs to hold, and then we're gonna see a retest here, and if it breaks, it needs to hold and then go, because here it broke, but it couldn't hold. But it's still early. It just opened, so we can definitely see more upside, but it is on a resistance zone, so we have to be careful holding long positions. Don't get too biased. If you see it's not breaking or is struggling, see some weakness, just take some partials, like we always preach in the chat, is take 75% and write 25% of your position. So if you are overnight longing the SPYs, if it opens around here, right, and it pushes and retest resistance, take that 75% and see if you can ride this move up. I will say the next resistance will be around, let's see, around here at 29.08 to 29.11.12. But it needs to break this first. As we know, this is overextended. It didn't even had a time to consolidate. Last time it really consolidated what was around here at our bounce area. It bounced perfectly. It retested many times and hold for what is this? Maybe 2 or 3 days, and then it moved up. And this was our line in the sand that it was around, I think it was around here, and we call this as the line in the sand, the next target, and it broke and retested, and then you could have easily gone long here with a stop loss below it. Everything worked out perfectly. This resistance here, it just couldn't care less about it. Just went above it, retest, hold, and then just kept pushing. Same with the yearly pivot. It kind of, let's see if I can pull, let's pull the intraday chart so we can see how we react to that yearly pivot. Okay, it's loading. Let's see. It's gonna take some time to load. The internet is not the best right now. At night is the worst time for me in terms of speed. So when it got to that yearly pivot, it kind of, okay, let's wait. It doesn't want to work with us. I'll wait a little bit to load this. Give it a few seconds more to finish loading. But so far it looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. Let me see. Okay. I think now it is done. So this was the yearly pivot, that same area over here that we talk about. Okay, it didn't finish. That's fine. So, okay. Give it another second, guys. I'm sorry about that. Since the futures trades 24 hours almost, is more data to load for a 5 minute. This is loading the entire year. That's why it's taking so long. But here is the yearly pivot. If you guys see, it kind of did a little bit try, but it was just too much momentum. It flagged a little bit here and then just pushed up. What was the other one was our key level, right? The monthly. I want to see also if you just brush it through or the 2840. That's the one I want to see, 2840. It kind of respected, but it was just, again, just too much momentum right here on this area to hold it back. It went through, it went above and then retested a little bit lower, but it just regained it and just went. It was just too much news piling up to stop this. And if you miss the line in the sand, this blue line is that 2821 that was our line in the sand. You see how many times you gave you entries here and then did a higher low here, so you could have entered maybe on the VWAP reclaim. Again, these are the futures, so it's a different price point than the SPX. But we'll see. That's the yes. It probably gonna close this gap first, and then we go from there. On the pullback, it needs to hold these 2880s, and then push through the 2892.50, 2894.94. Now let's see gold. I know there are some people swinging gold in the chat room. So this is the thing with gold, is not being able to hold above this quarterly monthly pivot zone, which is 1339.40, 1341.10, 40, 1341.40. It couldn't hold above. It tried once, twice, 3 times, and it couldn't hold above. It needs to hold this line in the sand at 1335.80 to avoid a pullback to the main pivot, which is, let me see, 1325.60. No, that's not the main pivot. The main pivot is down here. But this is the next probable pullback. This is the R1 pivot monthly. So 1325. So it needs to hold this 1338 for to do like this and try again and keep doing these higher lows here. Just do like this and then push, and this time hold the back test to push higher. As you can see, there is a higher low trend here going on. Here, here, here. So if it bounces over here, it's going to confirm another higher low, and then we see if we can push. Let's see what else. Natural gas. It's just doing nothing right now. It's open flat. But I was talking to a friend of mine and early in the morning, and I would say the only entry I would take on natural gas will be if breaks and hold the 2372, breaks and hold here, or if it dips on 228 and holds, consolidates and holds here, and then we see a reversal pattern, or at the quarterly pivot at 2.237. So the only time I'll take you guys, again, you can try to take an early entry. A lot of people try that, but I like to take on pivots. So the only way I'll take this is a break and hold of this pivot like this, or Can you guys hear me? I think I lost my internet for a little bit. Can you guys confirm on the chat if you can hear me? Okay, I apologize for that. I lost my internet connection for a little bit. So on natural gas, the only time I'll take it was a break and hold of this or a dip and some sort of consolidation reversal pattern. And the plan C would be a dip, strong push down to this level here. And then we do the same reversal consolidation pattern to then move up. What else? I know we are swinging UWT in the chat room, which is the bullish ETF for the oil. So far it's following so perfect our levels. We had this was a lower level. If we couldn't hold this, then we're gonna grab it over here. But we did that nice consolidation and a higher low here pattern to go long. Our first target was around here is reaching the line in the sand, which is the 5509 is the line in the sand for us. It really needs to break and hold this level here for more upside, which it will be around 5679, our next target. So we'll see what happens. So far looking good. It gapped up. So if we have a rejection here, let's see if we can hold this level. And then we see the push like this. If we can't hold this, then we're probably going to retest maybe midpoint here. As you guys can see, there's a lot of interactions at this mid-level, 53.40. So maybe a pullback here. But so far so good. It's reaching our target, first target. And silver, I think some members are still holding their silver positions. Let's see. Okay, so it's back testing the pivot. It really needs to hold here. As you guys know, I have been saying this is that was the resistance zone until it broke. We call this, which was around here. So this was our zone, and we finally broke it on Friday. And now we are back testing it. So it really needs to hold. I would really like to see this holding these levels for a move upside. So it's doing like this, right? Did I grab it? No, I didn't. So what is it right here? It's doing like this. We wanted a hold here and then a push back up. Something like this of some sort. Next target will be around there. But if we can't hold, then we can start seeing the a lower bounce on it. See, what this was our entry here. We wanted to come up and grab around here. We had the pullback on this area, and it worked perfectly. We just went above. Now let's go through for the requests. I have a bunch of requests today. I'm gonna start with the Microsoft. So let's check Microsoft. If you guys want a ticker, please post on the chat. I have a list, so probably is already on the list, but please post. And let's try to check everything. So the Microsoft is reaching that key level with the gap up in the market. If we open gapped up, it's probably going to be opening right at that key resistance. And it is overextended, so we may see a pullback for a pause and for a move higher or lower, but you're probably gonna see a pause over here. And if we don't, if you just keep pushing, then our next target is gonna be the 135.61. But I would expect some sort of pause here. If we gap above that, then you have to watch carefully to hold. It needs to hold if we gap up, because let's say it gaps up over here and then it can't hold and retest the zone and it doesn't hold, then it is probably going to start trigger some sort of algo selling or something like that. Not to the all the way down, but some sort of profit taking. And if you are holding options, you want to be sure to secure profits at around that area. We always take profits on key levels because we never know if it's going to have the strength, if it's going to find buyers there. So we want to be ahead of everybody and know where we're not taking our partials. So that's something to watch. Right now, I'm assuming everything is going to gap up because of the market conditions. But there's the gap, there's the zone, the resistance zone, right? It's also inside a intraday, a daily pivot zone. So it's going to be a tough cookie to swallow. So it needs to hold the main daily zone. It's a strong deep buy zone until it breaks it below. So if we see that profit taking at some point, put a price alert over here. I'm going to put a little bit above it, so I'm ready. I'm putting a little bit above it just to make sure I don't miss it. And I'm going to put the alert a little bit below that zone in case, so I don't miss the push. Because we are always watching so many stocks, we don't want to miss those big opportunities. So that's the plan. If it gets here, we want to secure our 75% position in case we can't break above it. If we break above it, we ride at 25% to the 135, 135.61, which is our main target. And if we don't hold this, then we can close all the position. It's up to you. I can tell you when to buy and when to sell, but that's what I would be doing. And if it gets here and hold, I'm going to buy more calls. And if it breaks below, I'll cut it. So that's a reason why I always grab at pivots, because it gives me a very low risk. If breaks, let's say Microsoft, I grab here at 130.50, right? Or in the middle, 60 here. And it breaks below and can't hold, I'll cut at 130.35 or 30. That's going to be a 30-cent move, which is absolutely nothing with in comparison of the reward, which can be all of this here. So that's absolutely nothing for me. I'll risk that every single time. If we can't hold this, then we're going to retest the monthly pivot, which is at 128.54. And Microsoft is bullish until it keeps above 127.55 on the week. So Microsoft is remaining bullish if it stays above 127.55 on the week. So if you stay above here, it's either going to consolidate or move higher. If it breaks below the weekly pivot, then the problem is that below the weekly pivot we have this strong support here, which is the monthly pivot and the quarterly pivot. So if you take a short, those are key levels you need to watch over here, which is 125.79, 126.77. Okay. Check the next one. Let me put a mark so I don't repeat myself. Oh, I missed my screen. Okay. Next one will be Nokia and OK. Okay, so Nokia is holding the monthly main pivot, which is a very important level to me. Let me change this real quick so I know my numbers. So 503, that's the main pivot. If you want a zone, the zone is 5 to 503. Below that, you don't want to be on it anymore, because we can just go back down here to 486, 489, retest this zone here before we move higher. So either you keep this as your stop loss and then you grab here, but it's looking good. It is looking good for a move higher. Let's see. Our main weekly is at 505. So that confirms this is a super strong area. So SS is going to be 503, 505 with a stop loss below 5 if you wish, or just below this pivot if you can't hold 503. My personal stop loss is always going to be the pivot, because why I'm going to hold all this if I can buy it low, right? There's no reason to just cut for a small loss and then get a better deal with it. Nokia, so target, right? Okay, so let's see if it's gapping up as hard, but weekly speaking is 513, 519, and then the main target for swing is 530 to 536. That's the first target on the swing setup. Okay, let's move. We have a lot of stuff to cover. Let me see. Trying to go by the order that was asked me. Let's check the Amazon. So it's probably going to retest with market gapping up. I would not be surprised if it retests the main monthly pivot at 1837.39. It's going to have a small zone between these two pivots. Let me mark this. Trying not to shake, my hands a little shaky again. Okay, right here. So there is a zone between 1831.74 and 1837.39. That's going to be a key zone, since this is the main monthly pivot. As we always talk about, until it's below the monthly, the main pivot is bearish for that time frame. So until it's below the main monthly pivot, we are bearish for the month, or we are consolidating, right? So Amazon needs to reclaim this to be bullish for the remaining of the month. We bounced off the main quarterly pivot, which was super important. We had this zone here as a bounce. We bounced there, was great. Retest the top of the zone and then pushed. So as following the same thought process, we are bullish for the quarter because we are above the main quarter pivot. So until Amazon doesn't break below and hold below the quarter pivot, we're still bullish for the quarter. Now the quarter will end this month, I think. Let me see. Yep, next month is a new quarter. But let me change this again so I get the numbers easily for you guys. So we need to break above this. The next, we have also this consolidation here at the 50 level. So that's something to watch. If it breaks above and hold this pivot, that would be the second target around at 50. As you guys can see here and here, all over here, this kind of retested here. It quite didn't get there, but here, all of this here. So yes, the 50 is an important level. So let's keep an eye on it. Okay, let's see the intraday plan. So Amazon is bullish for the week until above 1760.76 and bullish for the day above 1785, 85, 1789.92. So we can buy dips that hold here and buy dips that hold over here. So those are our main dip buy levels. We can also mark last week's main pivot. If you are not new to the stream, you know that's an important level to me. So I'm gonna mark that. That's gonna be gray. I just can't change my color, but this is gonna be gray to go with the weekly pivot. So I know this refers to the last week pivots. So yeah, those are the deep buy levels I'm looking at for Amazon. And then we can see it's probably going to open almost right there. So I will expect a deep buy on it. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's put your price alerts in there. I'm going to put a price alert in here at or below. I'm going to put a price alert right here at or below. And I'm going to put a price alert right here at or below. And I'm probably going to put a price alert if we break through this monthly pivot at or above. So those are my 3 price alerts. TOS is lagging a little bit. Okay, all price alerts in there. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's check our favorite, one of our favorites, ROKU. So ROKU has been just beautiful. We called the short here, and then we could see the bounce was perfect. And then when we break above and retest the yearly pivot, we could go long to the next target, which we reached. This was the next zone right here. So we had a short here. It worked pretty well. Then when we got there again, we were seeing it was doing this higher lows and like a pattern. And then we were waiting to see what's going to happen. Market was very bullish. So once it broke and hold the back test, it go long to the next resistance zone, which we hit on Friday. It was a very bullish day, a very bullish week this week. So now we need to hold this bottom here. ROKU is getting a little bit of help on the market with the gap up. So let's say we gap above this 103.45, we need to hold it. If we can't hold this, we're going to dip to the 101.11, 101.90 zone right here. And if we can hold this, then we're going to dip most likely to the main weekly pivot, which is 98.27. Where is 98.27 in the chart? Oh, look how math is awesome, right? It's almost right here on this little wick here. It's funny how it is. So this is the main weekly zone. We're gonna watch that, and I'm gonna go put alerts right now because my TOS is lagging a little bit. I don't want to delay a little bit more. I don't want to. Let me see. So if we hold above this, next target is going to be the 105.94, 107.63, 109.97, 113.38, 114. And this is going to be something. If it gets there, is 116.51, which is the next monthly pivot. Regarding pivots, is not overextended if it gets there. Of course, not at, if it just gets like 16 points, it's just ridiculous for one day in ROKU. But if we get there, it's still not considered overextended on the month. Is at like a midpoint. 150 would be the overextended level, which is the R3 for the month. But it's just a long way to go. Just play level by level. Don't think hitting a home run, oh, this thing is going to get to 150 and hold the bag. Just play the levels. But those are the levels I'll be watching. Always take partials on key levels, which is the 107.63, then the 113.38, and go from there. Mark. Let's check. Somebody asked me this on the chat room. LJPC. We have been hitting those levels so nicely on LJPC. One second. Okay. So LJPC is struggling with the zone that we had, which is the 13.22, is really struggling in that area, but it's still doing those higher lows. So we had to see tomorrow. If we retest this and can't hold, that would be a very nice, how do we say, low risk entry for a short. So look at this. This is our main level resistance. It would say it was the key zone for the resistance. It was right above. It went nicely the first time. Try to hold it. It tried to hold on this back test here, but it couldn't, and just start going down. Once he reclaimed this VWAP, I called in the chat room and said, don't be surprised if this runs back up in power hour or pre-market, which it did happen. So that was a nice 12.28 to 13.25, so up 1 point on the stock. So watch for that 13.22 level for your short entry. If you don't get that, if it gaps down for some reason, watch retests of this or retest of the main daily level. So it's below that is going to be bullish from the day until it breaks above it. So it gives you a very nice low risk here as well. So I don't know, let's say if we, for some reason we gap down here, or you only catch it lower here and retest the main zone, just watch for a short setup and then write it down. The main weekly zone is about 1067, so watch for that. If you catch and it's still pushing, wait for a loss of this zone here to enter. So let's say this thing is running hot. You can even try a previous high if you want to, but keep it very tight. If it goes back down and it holds, and if you see the strength, people are buying, check the level 2, people are buying the zone, just take your profit. From here to here is a very nice profit, or take a partial and see if the rest can fail like this, and then go from there. But so far he's struggling, but he closed high, so you have to be careful with this. If we break and hold this one, the next target will be 1426, 1441, the 1566, the 1609, and the 1664. So let me check the float for this LJPC. The float is, oh, don't have it. Finviz doesn't have it. Let me check real quick on Google. LJPC float stock. Okay, so the float is 25 million So it's a low float stock. So you have to be careful with those short squeeze. And what comes up fast comes down fast as well. You just need to find your entry and keep your risk tight. Always position yourself for a better chance of success. Now let's check the next one. Let's check STZ. STZ. So if you got late into the stream, don't worry, I'm recording the stream and I'll post on YouTube and send you guys the link later. So STZ is very interesting. Let's check it real quick. So we just reclaimed the main yearly pivot. You can't see it, but it's right the same spot. Let me see if I, as you guys can see, it's right there. The main yearly pivot is right here. So we just reclaim it. It's a very short tight zone between them and the quarterly pivot. So we just reclaimed that, push through the main monthly pivot. So we need to see a hold of 187.14 to avoid another test of this zone here. And if we hold this, one second, my mouse is a little misbehaving right now. Okay. So if we hold the main pivot, we're probably gonna see a run to the 193.90. So 193.43, 193.90 will be the next target if we keep holding this monthly pivot right here. So if we gap up, watch for a dip on this level. This is a very strong level. So here, let's say dips on the open, you grab over here and then you ride it up. Right, that's the plan. Take partials over here, take partials over here. And then if you keep a little bit to see if this is gonna break. As you guys can see, it is a strong zone. This purple line here is this line here. As you can see here, it is a respected level. So I expect some sort of reaction to that level. If we break below this, watch for a dip over here at 184.56, 184.99. If it breaks under that and hold, you don't want to be long on it. It's better to wait and reclaim. You can also watch the 182 if it dips there. That's the last week's main pivot. But then this is going to be the resistance to break again, and that can be rough. So, but that's also like a 2.5 points. So that's a good in options. Even in shares, if you take like 250 shares, that's $500 right there. So those are the levels to watch. Let's move. A lot of tickers. The next one request is, let's check the GLUU, GLUU. Yeah, I will wait. This still looks like it's downtrending. It's approaching the main yearly. That's to me, it could be a magnet. So watch this zone for a buy 650, 683. See if it can get there. If it can get there, that would be the better entry than where it is right now. If you're okay with being down from here to here, then take a starter position and then you add into here. If it breaks under, you can just cut it, because then it's probably, if you can't reclaim, it's probably gonna go to 567, 591. Now if we can have a reversal around this area, then we can see the push to first 802, which is about 18% return, and then 842, which is about 25% return from here to here of your investment. Let's see intraday. Okay, intraday, the main weekly pivot. You see the difference between the charts that we saw before and the charts right on this one, for example. All the charts we checked previous to this one, the price was above the main weekly pivot. This price is below the main weekly pivot, so it's already starting the week in the bearish side. So it needs to break above this to go to the bullish side. So the key resistance is going to be 746 for this week. So yeah, let's see if we can get this deal here. If you're okay with the risk, just take it on the break and hold of 728, which is the main day pivot. Is going to give you a little bit of a room. From here to here is about 2.5% return of investment. You can take a partial and then see if you pull back here how it reacts. At least you already have some money in your pocket, and if it breaks, you can be out with some profit. If you want a zone, you can mark last Friday's main pivot and create a zone and create a little zone here, right here. 724, 728. So that's the plan for GLUU. Okay, let's check KSS. That's one that Shortham pointed out, and I really like the chart. It's having selling hard. As you guys know, this thing was a beast on the way up, and it's selling hard. It's right at the quarterly pivot. So it's right there. It's trying to do higher lows. This is the 4-hour chart. It's trying to do those higher lows here. It could be a bear flag, so you have to be careful. The entry point would be a hold above this 4809. So that would be the ideal entry. It has a lot of room to go to the upside, so this could be a good swing setup. So look how much it dropped. Look at that. This was the main yearly pivot. That's what I was saying. Remember, guys, I told you main pivots are very important. This was the main week quarterly and main yearly pivot zone. Once it couldn't hold above it, look how bleeded bad. It was bad. So this is it looks like it's the R2 quarterly. No, it's the R3 quarterly. So it's overextended to the downside on the quarterly time frame. So yeah, this could be a good setup for us. So keep an eye on this for dip buy. It's great that it's right there on the main day zone. So this could be a very nice setup to go long. Let me see one thing. The weekly main pivot's at 48.86, so that's going to be the main resistance for the week. 48.86 is right around here. But if you grab from there, that's 80 cents. It's going to be already a good trade if you had to take some off there. Next target will be around 50. If it breaks that, then this yearly pivot 51.49. So this is one of my main watches for the week. I really like this setup. It's really overextended to the downside, and I'm going to keep an eye on this level 58.09. Okay, next one. Let's check the McDonald's. If you guys have any tickers, just request in the chat. I have a long list that already requested, but if we're gonna try to check everything. So McDonald's is like a beast. It doesn't care. It didn't care about what the market was doing. The market was going down. McDonald's was just consolidating in this what I call triple threat right here. It's a triple threat pivot zone. We have the main monthly, the quarterly, and the yearly pivots. So if consolidated very nicely here is for a move higher. If you watch the streams, you'll be catching this. Right now is at this monthly pivot. Oh man, I hate when it is I had to change my, so I can see what is the number. 205.40. So it needs to hold this for a move higher. I would think that with the market gapping up, this is gonna gap above this. So what we're gonna expect is to hold this zone. It really needs to hold. If it doesn't hold, then we're gonna probably go back to the 201.84 level. So let's see intraday if we can find an entry for us on Monday. So if you're swinging this from here, this is a good spot to take some profits out, guys. Don't hold the entire thing. Mostly if you are options, you have time decay, volatility decay, all those stuff. So as you guys can see, it really retested many times this level. This is this line here. So this monthly pivot on Friday. We need to move this a little bit. So this is Monday's projections. The main zone for the day is right there. We're gonna watch that for a dip. If we dip there, we're gonna watch for a hold, 205.12, 205.40. If we gap above, let's say, I don't know how much McDonald's gap with the market, relative to the market. So if we gap right over here, we need to break and hold this level for a move higher. If we fail to break this and starts doing some sort of short setup, which I like, is when it does the top and then hits the bottom and fail, as we're gonna get a dip they wanted. So we're gonna watch that. If we break and hold, the next target will be 208, 208.81, and then 211. The next monthly is all the way to 213.23, but there's a long way to go. I don't think McDonald's will get there on the same day, but just keep taking your profits on the way. 281.81. Watch this. If you keeps holding support, you can see another move higher from there, and then holds this one. It's just like an elevator, breaks above, holds, go to the next one. Are you guys hearing me clearly? Some members are saying the volume is not so good. Yes, okay. Yeah, it's being recorded, the DBB, so you can watch it again when I post it on YouTube. So that was, I'm trying to find on the list. Okay, McDonald's. Into the next one. Somebody asked me BB. I think that's BlackBerry. Yes, let's check BlackBerry. Oh, that's a nice setup too. So BlackBerry just reclaimed this quarterly pivot. It's trying to hold. It has earnings when? Earnings on the 21st, so in about 2 weeks. About 2 weeks is going to have earnings. So hold of this would be nice, and then the next target will be 835. If you're looking for a position, that would be you can put your stop loss about 780, maybe 782 if you are long. Okay. Okay, so why do you close this? It was over here. So we have main. Is this the main quarterly pivot? No. Okay, so the main weekly is 792, and the main daily 795. So this will be your stop loss if it breaks under these pivots here. And your key resistance is going to be right over here. 792, 796. So while it's in between here, there's no man's land right here. Breaks above it, bullish, breaks below it, bearish. You can expect some more pullback. If it pullbacks, let's say goes here and bounce, just wait for the reclaim of the zone. Don't try to predict this is going to be the bottom. You wanted to wait for that break and hold. Next target would be the 814, and this high here from yesterday has a zone there too. And but the ultimate target would be the 835. REGN. Check REGN. Oh wow, could it be more perfect? Look at that zone. That pivot zone was just perfect. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tests. Hold every single time. I think we call this zone, we talked about this, me and Frank in the chat room a long time ago. He had been scalping this on the way up all the time. I think he's grabbing this every time he gets here. So it needs to break above again 306.35. It finished today very, very bullish. So I would expect it's gonna gap up with the market. If it gaps up above 309.60, then it's gonna probably hit that 314.30, which is gonna be the monthly key level. 314.30, the monthly key level, which is the main monthly pivot. I don't even know what is this. Looks like it's a quarter, yeah, it's a quarter pivot. It's just the color is wrong. This is a color, let me remove. Right there's the 330.22. So this will be the zone to beat if we hold the 314.30. Yeah, it's looking very healthy. I really like all these bottoms here on the yearly pivot. Okay, so let me see here real quick. I want to see if we retest on Friday. Yeah, see that retest? Broke above, retest and hold. Then the time ran out. We're going to see what happens Monday. Oh, this is beautiful. So the main weekly pivot is at 303.91 together with the main day pivot. And last week's main pivot was this one right here. So that's going to give an extra cushion support. This is going to be a SS support for us. In case we don't gap up, we're going to watch for a hold of this zone to go long if you don't have any positions. So if we break above this, the next zone is going to be 309.86 and 312.55. This is going to be our little hurdle right there. 312.55 to 314.30. That's going to be the, are we going to go to the moon or no? You guys, I don't believe in going to the moon stocks, but you know that REGN moves very fast. Let me check the float. Now I got curious. The float is 79 million, which is not that much at all for a $300 stock. So yeah, that's on the watch list. And that's how we're gonna play it. Next one. Let's check waste management. Okay, so it couldn't break the 115 pivot that we called the other day in the chat room. So the 115 was our key resistance. It couldn't break the first. It broke, but it couldn't hold the first and the second times on Friday. It kind of looks like it wants to dip to this zone here. But if it doesn't, then we just grab the break and hold of above zone. But keep an eye on this here. 313.35, 313.88 zone for deep buys. But then if we deep buy here, watch for the any rejections over the 114.54 area. And then if we break this, we're gonna retest that key resistance. Above that, you can expect 116, 116.44 zone, then the 117.35, 117.63. The ultimate target is 120.03, but play each zone as that was the target. Take your partials on each one of them. Let's check what else we have. The list is almost, not almost, there's a lot of stuff going on. So QCOM, right? This was beautiful. It called the bottom. Okay, so we call the possible bottom here at the zone here. This was our deep buy zone. 64.13, 65.07. We got a low of 64.60 twice, and then we bounced. Now this is looking very much like a cup and handle on the 4-hour, being this is the cup and this is the handle. So let's see if we can push up to 72.75, 73.97, which will be the next target. Let's see. If you people in the chat are swinging this already, so let's see. If you don't have any entry, if you don't have a position, the entry will be a hold of 68.20 to 68.26, or a dip to 67, 67, 67, 77. Just checking. If we gap up, we can look also for this here. I don't think it's going to gap up all that, but let's say we gap up. The 69.70, it's also a weekly pivot. So that would be also a good a hold on the dip if it dips, if it breaks, if it gaps above that. So you have on the weekly, we have targets at 69.70, 70, 72, and then our pivot, hard pivot zone right there. Wait, this is going to be rough right here. If it breaks above the, so if it breaks above the yearly pivot, this is the triple threat zone right here. So that's the plan for QCOM. So far looking very bullish. Okay, Tesla. Tesla was also one that we called the reversal. And the options room played that as well. It was they made like 1,000% on the last contract. They took, I think, from 130 or something like that, and the last one sold for $9. So it couldn't break the main monthly pivot. We call it the reversal right here on the yearly pivot. That was our deep buy level 178.75. It was just perfect. If you didn't want to catch the falling knife, it retested once, twice. So you could have entered right here or here and rolled for just about 40 points. That's just small potatoes. 40 points right there. Take first partial at the quarterly, hold and see if it can go higher. So right now, as of right now, is looking like it needs a little pullback. Let's see if we can get a pullback. Let's see. This is a nice area right here. Let me mark that. Right there. I marked that because of here, here. This little candle retest all these weeks. Here, this week, this week. So watch for that dip over here. It would be nice to hold a higher low over that quarterly pivot. One second, my mouse is a little struggling. Okay. So it would be nice to see. Man, my mouse is like, are you kidding me? The battery is going to die on me right on the stream. Okay. So if we can retest and do a higher low here, that would be nice for a retest and then get a push. Like this. If it dips to the quarterly pivot, it's fine as well. As long as stay above it, we're still gonna be fine. Let's see intraday. Let me remove all these lines. It's funny how TOS do that on the lower time frame. You should have an option not to share with the lower time frames, the lines you do. Anyways, yeah. So the main weekly is all the way down here. That would be the last line of support together with our quarterly pivot. So Tesla really needs to hold 197.50, 197.90 if it dips there. So it closed weak. Watch for this zone. If we gap up, watch for this. And if you can't hold, then we're probably going to retest here. And if we can't hold here, retest of the weekly and quarterly will be imminent. So that would be the plan, is you can either short to there or wait to get there, here or here, to grab your long position and have a stop right under it. What's next? ADSK. Yeah, the nice setup also on the yearly pivot. But right now it's about to retest the main monthly pivot, which is, let me change once more, 166.12. You're also gonna have to worry about this level here, which is the previous pivot. So this is gonna create a zone from here to here. That is gonna be the key resistance for the next days. So key support is gonna be this 164.15, 164.32, and the main weekly is at 162.62, which will be the last week's main pivot is going to create a zone. So you can look for either short to here, from here to here, and from here to here, or deep buy on holds over here if you prefer to go long. This would be the last line of defense on the week. So if it doesn't hold, we're gonna see if we can dip to the 157.23, 158.52 level. If we hold, then we can expect, if we break above this zone, we're gonna see 169.68, and then that key zone right here, 171.33, 172.25, and then 173.74, 174. Okay. We're already at 1 hour and 50 minutes into it. So let's try to. So SWKS was also brought by Short Hammer. It does look almost the same as the Qualcomm chart as he noted. So it looks, you see the rounded motion and bounced off the quarterly pivot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it also said that the Mexico deal would be very favored to the stock. So let's see. Dips on 69.04 and dips to 69.62, 69.74 on watch. If we gap up, then watch for resistance at 71.80, 71.44, all this zone here. Pullbacks to 70.70 or even to the previous high to go long. If it doesn't pull back, just watch for break and hold or consolidation into a pivot zone. But it does look interesting, just like Qualcomm to me. Mostly because it has the extra catalyst on the Mexico deal. PYX was also brought up by Short Hammer. I thought it was interesting. So it is holding these levels here 1, 2, 3 times. It has earnings. It's not confirmed, so I don't know if it does have earnings tomorrow, but it's something to watch. If it can break above the monthly pivot, which I'm gonna tell you in 1 second, what is the number? If it breaks above 1910, next target would be the 2074 and then the 2184, 2263. This is going to be the key level to break. And the next one will be 2365 and then the yearly pivot at 2527, 2575. So this is a very clean chart. It trades very well on the pivots, as you guys can see. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just play with the algos on this one. They're loving to play this stock. Deep buy zone, main zone for the week is 1795.18. So keep an eye on that for deep buy. Last week's main pivot is at 1835, so watch that as well. If it breaks below and can't break above the 1795, just don't touch it. Wait for another break above it or a lower consolidation to a key level. Like, for example, over here, 17, which is that level? Yeah, so that's a very strong level right there because it has this pivot zone here. 1758, 775 is right there, right here. So if it breaks that, you don't want to touch it. You can probably go to 15. Thank you, Lob. See you next time. Let's see target. TGT doesn't care about the market either. Look at that. Market's going down, no problem. Let's go on. Okay, so it's testing the quarterly pivot. It's testing the above part of the quarterly pivot. It could hold very nicely the month, which is the bottom zone, bottom of the zone, and broke through and see like it was going to retest, but the time ran out. With the market gapping up, we should expect to go to 89.80 at some point, right? But if it decides just to diverge from the market, just watch those levels. 85.12, 84.27 is the last line of defense, in my opinion. Can even maybe, if you take a short on the break that, just watch for this right here, the 83.50s. Cover some. Okay. Let's see intraday real quick. Yeah, it has a lot of support. This stock has a lot of support down there. So if we move higher, next target will be the 89s. Yeah, probably the 89s. If we gap up above here, or middle here, and watch for the rejection there, and then we grab the dip. Let's check BABA. So BABA, I was hoping for 145.49. I think I mentioned that on the chat room, but I never had it, which is sad, but it's okay. But it has a very strong resistance to break at 158.02, 159.51 zone. Is doing these higher lows, which can also be that bearish, the bearish flag, but at the same time, is doing a flat top. If you think about it right here. And it's doing this trend line. That was a bad drawing trend line. Right here. So you can also think as this as a breakout pattern. So just keep an eye on it. I would prefer, I really would love it if it would break down and give me the 145.49, but that's fine. If it breaks above 158.02, 159.51 and holds, I'm going long on it to the 164.31, 166.79. I will not hold hope the entire position all the way up, but I'm going to keep taking profits on the way. But that would be the plan. Okay. Intraday. We have our main weekly pivot at 153.06, so it needs to stay above that to remain bullish on the week. We have the 153.92, 154.04 as the main day zone. So if we gap up and then we dip and hold, go long, first target over there. If we gap above this with the market, although the news is on Mexico, not China, but you also have all those things about how friends the presidents are, we'll see. But if it gaps up, the next target will be the 157.28, then the 158.02, and finally the 159.51, which is going to be that key resistance. Break above it, 160.33, 161, then 162.50, and finally the 164.31, which is the main goal. a break below this 153.06, I will wait and see if it can reclaim or dip lower. 150 is going to be a strong support. So keep an eye on that if it dips there. JD. So the JD is very interesting. It's on this no man's land zone here between these two pivots. See, every time it gets here, it either goes up or down from here. So that's an interesting zone. If you can hold this, watch for 27.41, which is going to be the key resistance. And once it breaks above that, it may close this gap here, maybe. 28.18, 28.47 will be the next target. Main weekly pivot at 26.49. And that's about it. Break 27.41, then we can try to close that gap. Yeah, let's see if we can hold this zone this time to go up. So RTN had that news of the merger. So we don't know how to trade this. We have to wait tomorrow pre-market. But watch for 187.73, then the 197.19, 198.18 levels. I'm considering it's going to gap up, right? This is also a key level right here. Let me mark. 191.42, previous quarterly pivot. Also had all these reactions to it, so it becomes important. So 191.42, then the 197, 198.18. If the news is taken well. If the news is taken bad, then I don't think it's going to be taken bad, but watch for 175.79, 173.23, and the 168.90, 170 zone. Let me see the list. I think I'm almost done. Lows. So lows, we call this swing on the big board chat room at 91. The 91 area, we say was a strong zone to take it. It was overextended to the downside. And we talk about the 91 area, the 91s. It bounced right there, and now it's getting to the first target, which is the 96.49, 97.59 zone. It went above, it went there, couldn't hold, try again, couldn't do it. So it needs to hold this time the 96.49 for a move higher. If it can't hold this, it may be just gonna pull back to 94, maybe the 94, and then go from there. We go from there. But if it does, then the next target is going to be 99.34, $100. So if you took that swing, that you should be already taking profits some over here. You had a chance once. If you didn't take, you had the chance twice. So let's see how we open Monday, and then we see if we can push to the $100. But so far double topped over there on that pivot zone. So congratulations if you took that long. Costco. So Costco is just a beast, and now it's hitting the quarterly pivot 256.44. That's going to be a strong resistance. As you can see, on Friday, it had a strong reaction to that pivot right there. And it couldn't break above it. So we'll see if we're gonna gap above it. If we gap above it, we need to hold the pullback to it. If we can't hold the pullback to it, it may flag into a short setup. So let's say we gap up with the market, then we need to bounce to go over here. If we can't bounce and we lose this pivot, and then we're gonna go to 54. So we can take a nice short over there, take partials over here, see if it holds support. If it does, you can try to flip it. If it doesn't, if it keeps doing lower highs and lower lows, just keep holding your partial over there. The main weekly is at 250.23, which is around over here, and monthly is at 249.38. If we hold above this, I wouldn't be surprised if we get to 259.17, which is the next monthly pivot. Break and hold to 60 to 62.38. So that would be the plan for Costco. Okay, I only have left the SPY. If you have any other tickers, just let me know. I'll check another two more ones after the SPY. So the SPY is going to be just like the ES. That's why I like to do the ES when the market is closed. 1 second, it's loading. Try to find it. Okay, still loading. While it loads, let's check the ES. You see that? That's the silver. Silver just bounced very strongly on the bottom of the zone. So let's see how it goes tomorrow. Yeah, as expected, ES is pulling back and is about to close the gap. It's closing the gap, which is right there. So we'll see tomorrow how we open, if we're gonna lose the support and bounce and go down more around that area we talk about, or we're gonna bounce. So far it's working just like we talked about in the beginning. So the SPY needs to hold 28.7, 26, 28.7, 46 for continue to move higher Monday. If we lose this, we may pull back a little bit more, and then we see where we bounce, and then if we can reclaim it or not. So that's what we need to keep an eye on it. A break above 288.40. The next zone is at 2009, 2009.63, then 29.52, 29, oh gosh, 291.23. The weekly, next week is at 293.30. So that will be the number for the swing traders. And then I don't know if we can get there tomorrow, but 297.37 is going to be like, what? I don't think we're going to go there, but have to plan for it. Dips on 284.65, watch for that. If we dip there, we need to hold. And dips at 283.20, which is the main weekly pivot. So if you notice, it's already overextended before the week is started. But keep an eye on it. If we dip there, watch for holds to go long. And if we don't dip there, watch for consolidation and break above and hold of key levels. And let me see, ADVL. Oh, wow, that's a nice move. Okay, so it was a big deal that is above the quarterly pivot. Which is 211, and is also above the next monthly 223. So we wanted to keep that way. The next, you see, rejected this high because of all these highs here. So that's a natural rejection. Let's see if we can hold the back test. Maybe if we can hold here, and then we can push back up. Levels to watch would be here, 247, so we can say around 250. Then 272, 287, and 293. Those will be the next levels to watch. See here. Yeah, that 287, 284, that zone here. It's going to be important. So this is the SS cluster right there, 284, 293, but it needs to break those two lines before it gets there. So you want it to dip no lower than 205, 205 if you wanted to give it more room, and go higher, but I'll prefer no lower than 205, even no lower than 211, but if it goes 205 and quickly reclaims 211, that's fine as well. And then move up. Okay, I guess that was it. I think I went through everything. Let me recheck the list. Yeah. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for participating, and once more, see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. EST for our pre-market trading, and enjoy the rest of the week.